Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, The Moonlit Grimoire. My name is River, I'm a solitary Wiccan, and this is a channel where you can learn about anything witchcraft. If you read the title of this video, then that's right. Today we're talking about tarot spreads. This video is the third and final part of my tarot series. In previous videos, I discussed the minor and major arcana, as well as what each card represents and how the artwork of the card helps to show that. Today, I'm going to go over how to use your tarot deck and some various basic card spreads for specific tarot readings. How to begin. Before working with your deck, especially if it's brand new or you've never worked with your cards before, it's always best to cleanse your deck. A simple way of cleansing is to place a crystal, such as selenite, on top of it to absorb any energies that it may have come into contact with. If you just bought it and it was sitting in a store, then most likely it was touched by other people and picked up energy that way. Or perhaps you ordered it online and it picked up energies while in transit. Or maybe you just had the deck for some time and just want to make sure it didn't pick up any unwanted energies that were around. Another way to cleanse your deck is to use smoke cleansing. Wave smoke around the entire thing. Make sure to cleanse the front and back side of the cards, as well as the container you store it in. Once you have cleansed your cards, it is important that you connect with your deck. Some people like to sleep with their deck under their pillow, or holding their deck to their heart chakra. Holding your deck to your heart chakra is best done right before a reading too, to help you connect with it. Getting started. When you're ready to begin, you can cast a circle if you want, holding your deck to your heart chakra and asking your deck nicely to please work with you is a good step to include as well. Once you feel like you're ready, shuffle your cards very well. Next is to start pulling cards. Before you grab a card though, think about what you want that card to represent. For example, if you're doing a single card pull, you can ask the deck something like, how do I go about increasing my abundance? Or perhaps, show me something that I can work on within myself. Once you have your question in mind, spread the cards out on a table face down. Run your hands over the cards until you find one you want to flip over. If you're doing a full tarot spread, you'll place that card in a specific position for that spread. Tarot tips. Don't feel overwhelmed trying to memorize everything. When just starting out, it is a-okay to rely on the manual of your tarot deck. And don't have a constant fear that the deck is going to tell you something negative or scary, because that'll just increase your chances of having a failed reading, or, in other words, pulling cards that make absolutely no sense to you. Have an open mind and work with your deck often. Tarot spreads. You can find a lot of really good spreads online, but some decks have a few in their manual as well. I'm going to go over a few spreads very briefly, and I'll show the order to place the cards in and what each position represents. Okay, I'm going to pull different cards and arrange them into different types of tarot spreads. I chose random ones. I've got some for moon phases, some for certain occasions, but I'm not doing like every moon phase, or I'm just doing a select few that I think could be useful as examples, but you're more than welcome to use the tarot spreads exactly how I have them, or you're welcome to change them however you wish. So, first thing that I do is I always keep these specific crystals on this deck. I don't know why I do, I just do. I keep an amethyst right here on her moon, and I keep a double-pointed citrine on her golden book. I don't know why I do, I just do, and they seem like to fit this deck really well because of the purple and the gold. But that's just me. I've seen a lot of witches put crystals on their decks. I've seen some keep their tarot deck on their headscarves. There was a woman who had like a basket of headscarves, and she'd keep her deck like on top or in the middle. However you want to store your deck is up to you. And for preparing to do a reading, some witches like to do like a cleansing ritual, or will do like a ritual bath before they do a reading. but I'm just going to show you how to lay out your cards in specific orders to make certain tarot spreads happen. So I'm going to put the deck off to the side, and I'm just going to pull cards one by one. So normally, I'm not going to shuffle, but normally you would shuffle it and you would arrange them. You could lay them all out on the table. You could shuffle the deck and keep it at its deck and pull the top card. Personally, I'll either fan them out, or well, what I will do is I'll fan them out completely across the table, and then I will run my hand over a card, and when I feel like I found a card that I feel like pulling, I will go ahead and pull it. It's up to you if you want to flip it over as you pull it, or you lay it out and then flip it over one by one in the order of the spread. That's completely up to you. Everyone does tarot differently, and sometimes you may start doing one method, and then as you get more familiar with tarot, you may end up doing it in a completely different way in the future. But however you feel comfortable. I'm going to keep my deck like this, but I'm going to put it off to the side. So it's going to be off screen because I'm just showing you how to lay out different spreads. Not in any particular order. First up, I'm going to show how to do a new moon tarot spread. Oh, Maya, sorry, we have an invader. Come here, you. Okay, just keep walking off the table. Maya, are you really gonna lay down? She loves it when I put mats on the table, or like different like tablecloths and stuff. You can't see her, but she's still there. She's like right over there. Oh, Maya. Anyway, how to do a new moon spread. So this is a 3-card pull, and it's a very simple one. I try to keep these pretty simple. I'll have a few kind of more elaborate ones, but for the most part, I picked out simple ones just for good examples. Probably our simplest pull. It's a 3-card pull, and you'll arrange them like this. Maya. So you'll arrange them like this. And as you pull them, so before you place them, as you pull them, you'll pull the first card. This is card 1, card 2, and card 3. You'll pull your first card, and for this spread, the first card symbolizes where you have been. So you'll think to yourself where you have been, and it has to relate to the new moon. So it could be like where you've been mentally, where you've been spiritually, however you feel that this spread can help you. So you'll pull that card and you'll feel like, okay, this is the card that's going to show me where I've been. So you'll place it in the first card order, and then you'll move on and pull your second card. And the second card symbolizes where you are currently. And this could be, like I said, spiritually, mentally. And our third card, so you'll pull your third card and you'll place it here. That is where you want to be. And you could flip them over one by one, but always flip them over in the order for that spread. So you can either pull them and flip them over exactly as you pull them. So you can be all like, okay, I pulled 1, I placed it right side up. I pulled 2, I placed it right side up, and so on. Or you could keep them all face down. This is what I like to do. I keep them face down, and then I'll be like, okay, let's see where I have been. And I'll flip it over, and I have Ace of Cups. I'm not going to go through and talk about the different meanings. That's what the other videos were for. But you'll use these to kind of understand what your spread is telling you. And please refer to your manual if you're not sure what the cards mean. You could Google them. Some decks don't come with manuals. I feel like every deck should, because there are specific cards to certain decks that aren't in any other deck. So having a manual is very helpful. But yeah, if you don't know the meanings of them, feel free to have a resource with you to look it up. There's nothing wrong with having to like read back and forth, that kind of thing. The greatest thing in the world for me in my practice is being able to flip through my Book of Shadows while doing a spell. So don't be afraid to have directions with you. So anyway, that is our new moon spread. Now I'm going to move on to a first quarter spread. So still doing a moon phase spread, I'm going to do first quarter. And the first quarter moon phase represents actions and obstacles. So this spread's going to look a little more interesting. You'll pull your first card and you'll place it here. This card represents your self-perception. You'll pull your second card. Oh, I forgot to mention this is a 4-card spread. So you'll pull your second card and you'll place it here. This card represents obstacle. That's why it's on top of this card underneath, because it's acting as an obstacle to your perception. Your third card you will lay out here. This card will represent what will help you overcome this obstacle. And then finally, the fourth card you will place here. And this card represents what holds you back. So what's going to prevent you from overcoming that obstacle is what lies within this card here. So this next spread is going to be our last moon phase spread. I'm going to do the new moon. The new moon represents celebration. And this is an 8-card spread. This is what I would consider to be a more elaborate spread. So you'll pull your first card and you'll place it here. This card represents what are you most proud to have achieved in your life thus far. But this also could relate to, like, if you're doing a spell that you wanted to see come to fruition on the full moon. It could be like, what are you most proud of that this spell has done for you thus far? But I'm going to stick to this being kind of like a life check spread to help with celebrating on the new moon. Your second card that you'll pull will go here. And this card represents what skills or talents you have made progress with. Your third card you will pull will go here. And this card represents in what ways you have supported yourself recently. And the fourth card you pull, you'll place here at the end of the row. And this card will represent how you progress your long-term goals. Your fifth card will start the new row down here. And this card represents challenges you have overcame. The sixth card represents advice you wish to give your past self. A lot of people don't like looking back, but it does help with reflection. Just don't dwell on the past. Give yourself a little bit of advice that you wish you could tell your past self, for if a certain situation comes up in the future, you'll be more prepared and know how to handle. Your seventh card represents a strength you could use more of in your life. And your eighth card completes the full 2 rows. This represents a strength or skill you often forget you have. So when you flip all these cards over, or if you had flipped them over one by one, by the time you get to this 8th card, you should see how it all fits together and kind of represents your strengths and your weaknesses. So you can celebrate how far you have come, or be able to recognize things that you couldn't in the past, and give yourself a pat on the back for being able to prepare or overcome these things as they happen. So next up, my next spread is an example of manifesting abundance. I do a lot of abundance. You've probably heard me say that in the past. So I tweaked this one. I saw this online as an example someone had, and I made a few changes to it that I thought might fit a little bit better. So what I like to say this tarot spread should look like is first card here, second card here, third card here, fourth card here. Let me push it down so that it fits on the table all the way. And fifth card here. This is a 5-card spread that represents manifesting abundance. Your first card represents your current relationship with allowing abundance. Your second card represents obstacles creating a lack of abundance. The third card is how to relieve current stress, revolving around abundance or preventing abundance from happening. Your fourth card is something to learn or consider to help aid in your achieving of abundance. And your fifth final card up here at the top is what abundance will look like. I like how it's kind of like a way of building up. You don't just go up and back down. That wouldn't be good. But you don't just like go up from the bottom. You got to build that foundation first. and then you work your way to your goal. So that's why I really liked this one. I had to make a few tweaks to what the cards represent, and I think this is the best one to go with. But you're welcome to make changes for your own practice if you feel that maybe my words don't fit for you. My next spread that I want to show you is a spread that has to do with love. This is called the Temple of Aphrodite Tarot spread. It is a 7-card pull, and you'll place them like this. I ran out of room on the table, so I kind of had to squish the cards together. I have more room on the table, but in order for it to fit on the camera, I had to kind of squish them. But normally they would not be touching. And then your 7th card goes in the center like this. And you can scoot them closer to each other if you don't like these gaps. Some people like their cards to be like perfectly next to each other to make a nice little box. And you're just like filling a grid. If that's your personal preference, you can align it like that. I like to kind of match my tarot cloth, so but however you want to do it. Some mats have card spots, and then they just fill those spots. But whatever mat you want to use is fine. You could use a tablecloth, you could use a blanket, you could just use the solid table. And sometimes that's what I like to do, because it feels a little more natural, just having the cards against the wood. That could just be my own personal preference, but however you want to do it. So, card number 1 represents what you think about your partner, because this is a love tarot spread. Card number 2 is what your partner thinks about you. Card number 3 is what you feel about the relationship. Card number 4 is what your partner feels about the relationship. Card number 5 represents your level of attraction to your partner. Card number 6 is your partner's level of attraction to you. And lastly, card 7 is Aphrodite's forecast for where your dynamic is going. This is just a simple check-in tarot spread just to see how you and your partner are doing. And it's not for finding love, it's for love that you've already started flourishing and you want to see if it's going to go farther, or maybe you've been in a serious relationship for a long time and just like to do a little simple check-in. My next tarot spread I want to show you is a simple just checking in with yourself spread. It's a self-care tarot spread. Card 1, which will go here. I hope these will fit on the table. It might not. I will double check. But card 1 is how you're feeling right now. Card 2, which will go up here, you can kind of like line it like this. This card represents what can soothe your soul. Card number 3, you'll put opposite that. So at a kind of slanted position over here. This represents how you can honor yourself today. Card number 4, you'll put kind of like outward as well. Oh, I forgot to mention this is a 6-card pull. That's why I'm not sure if they're all gonna fit. I'm gonna scooch them up just a little bit, but know that normally these cards would not touch. You can make any tarot card spread touch if you want. That's perfectly fine, but me personally, I don't unless it's like to show an obstacle or to show something specific, or maybe I'll have the middle one on top if it's the final goal or something like that. But it's up to you if you want them touching or you don't want them touching. But anyway, card 4 is something you are ignoring. Card 5 represents something you're procrastinating. And then lastly, card 6, which will be at the bottom. Normally it'd be like down like this, but it's gonna fall off the table. So card 6 represents something to be grateful for. And this is just a simple check-in with yourself, self-care tarot spread. I've got 2 more tarot spreads I'd like to show you. This next one is another love one, and it's called Catching Feelings. You'll place the first card here, the second card here. Normally it would be like with the corners together like that. I don't think it'll fit. I guess I'll go ahead and try it. Some of it will be cut off, but that's okay, just to show what it'll look like. So first card, second card, third card, fourth card. Oh, hang on. And you want these to kind of come together like this. You'll place your 5th card here. Oh, and I forgot to mention this is a 6-card pull. And then your 6th and final card is way off to the side over here on the right. I just checked the camera and it shows that this one is very cut off. So I'm going to scoot everything up just slightly. And this final card is to be in line with this, but off to the side over here. Your first card represents what you are feeling right now. Your second card represents how do you see your love interest. Your third and fourth card both represent how do they feel about you. Because there's a lot of mystery around not knowing how someone else feels, so sometimes it may take 2 cards to figure that out. Or it may be so vague that you still have no idea. But hopefully this spread will help. The 5th card represents why they feel that way about you. I'm a Wiccan and I follow the whole Harm None creed, and so I don't do love spells. But if you did do a love spell, you could also use this tarot spread, mainly card 5, to figure out if this is done because of the spell that I chose. To figure out if the love or infatuation that that person has for you might be related to that spell that you did. This card would help answer that question. But like I said, I don't do love spells myself, so I can't give you any advice on that at all. And then lastly, the 6th card over here represents what you should do with this knowledge. So basically what this entire spread is telling you, how to act on it. Okay, lastly, I have one more spread to show you, and this is for health advice. This is to help you listen to your body, and you'll arrange it like this. We're gonna have to push them up again. So your first card represents how your body is feeling today. Your second card represents what your body needs right now. Your third card represents what is something that you need to take more seriously about your body. The 4th card is what is something your body is trying to tell you. 5th is how to improve how you take care of your body. The 6th one is how to be better attuned to your body. And the 7th and last card is how to show gratitude to your body. I also forgot to mention this is a 7-card spread. This is a more intricate because it's a 7 card. I feel like if it's more than 5 cards, it can be more intricate. So yeah, this is how to show gratitude to your body, how to listen to it, and figure out what it's telling you. I had a lot of fun today going through these spreads, and I hope you enjoyed them or at least got something out of it. And as always, may your future be bright and guided by the stars. Blessed be.